James here for Red Tractor Nation. I'm here today with my friend Jameson Hanson, and he has an H here. And who did the H belong to before you stole it? Because you're wanted for tractor theft, right?
Right. It was originally my wife's grandfather's tractor.
And what's his name?
That would be Walter Kutke.
Wow. And where are they from?
Hamburg, Wisconsin.
Okay. What?
Hamburg, Wisconsin.
Hamburg. And where y'all live? What?
I live just...
What about stalkers? Are we okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Though I live just north of there in Irma, Wisconsin.
Okay. And how you live there all your life?
No, we moved there from Madison when I was 12.
Okay. And your profession is?
I'm an auto mechanic.
Auto mechanic, okay. And today at the show here in Friendship, Wisconsin, you guys have 4 generations of your family here.
Yes.
You've got your grandfather, you've got your dad, you, and then the 2 boys.
Yes.
So we got 4 generations of you guys here, all Farmall guys?
Well,
they will be.
My grandfather has a Farmall and a John Deere here, so it depends on which tractor he's on, depends which hat he wears.
He's a switch hitter when it comes to tractors. All right, let's talk about the H here. Okay, what's the history behind this little H?
This was my wife's grandfather's tractor, and when I found it, it was in the corner of the father-in-law's machine shed, and hadn't been touched in years. And him being a John Deere guy, I harassed him, telling him that it's the best tractor in the fleet, and he left it sit.
He just left it shoved back in the corner.
Yep.
What kind of abuse is that?
Well, it could have been worse. It wasn't outside, thank goodness. It wasn't outside. But he told me, he said, if I could find a decent mechanic that could get it running, maybe we could do something about it. So.
And did you know anybody?
Yeah, I knew of a guy. So after he bought a new combine and had to go outside, I said it can't sit outside. I gotta do something. So after church one Sunday, I started farting around, and one thing led to another. And before we knew it, we had it torn apart in his garage.
So not only did you pull it out of his shed, you put it in his garage and tore it apart and left it in his garage
for 2 years.
All right. So what kind of things did you have to do to it to get it? Well, it wasn't running at the time, and you guys were trying to start it, and what happened?
Well, like a dope, I tried to start it on ether, and I blew the rings up. So we took the head off, and luckily when we got the head off, sprayed it down with some ether. We got it to roll over, popped the pistons out just to make sure that we didn't break any rings. Then once we had got it apart, we didn't. But trying to put it back in, we broke some, so we just put new rings in it right away while we were at it. Went through the head. We set all the valves, cleaned it all up nice. Put a new points and condenser. I had to end up having to buy a new starter for it. Okay. I had a buddy of mine rebuild the generator for me, and put new light bulbs in it. It works good.
Some wiring.
Yeah, a little bit
of wiring, and straight piped it so it sounded like a hot rod.
Yes.
You had to do that.
Well, because I'm a mechanic, I can't leave things alone.
Nope, got to twinkle. Yep. Got to tinker around with stuff constantly. Now, so then he's like, okay, now it's running. What did he use it for before?
I believe they used it for the blower on the silo because of the ease of the access to the PTO engagement and the throttle. They could stand right behind it.
Behind it, and they could engage everything, and they wouldn't have to climb up on the tractor to mess with it. And so they just did that. Now it has a farm-engineered seat on it. Do we have any idea where that seat came from?
I have no idea where it came from, but my father-in-law also had several older brothers, so who knows what shenanigans might have happened, what happened to the original seat, or why this is welded together. But
how in the world did they break off the first one and decide to put that welded up?
Yep, I can only imagine what happened there. But
well, it seems comfortable because your grandfather says, I bought a new seat for it, and now it's still sitting up in the rafters.
Yes.
After how long?
Oh, 2 or 3 years now, I think he bought that.
And you said, well, I like this one better.
I like this one better.
I like this one better. So what are the boys? You have 2 boys. How old are they?
That one's not mine, so, but,
Is he really not yours? Or
no, that's my nephew.
Okay, yeah, so your nephew.
But I do have 2 boys, but anyway.
Okay. You know that one over there's chewing tobacco, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, this is my son Corbin. He's 9.
Corbin?
And my youngest son is 4.
Okay. So the 4-year-old, he's not quite big enough to push the clutch in yet, huh?
No, trust me, he'd love to be. He'd love to be.
He'd like to be O2, huh? That's great. There's also a couple more things on the tractor that are kind of unique. And one is, well, you still got these brackets here that you said he had a cultivator set up that would hook to it, one on either side. But also, he has his own fabricated, farm-engineered plug that I really like. I think he did a great job on it. A lot of man hours, obviously, are in that plug. I think we should keep it forever because it works.
Right.
And that is this wooden stop that is shoved into the top of this, into the top of the hydraulic area here.
And I believe he actually has the original dipstick still attached to it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, dude, we need to check it, huh?
Yeah, well.
Okay. And your contribution to that homemade dipstick with plug on top,
was this homemade gasket here called the rag.
Gasket out of 100% Egyptian cotton, aka
the finest silks,
aka shop rag, that is keeping it from sopping out. Okay. Now there's a petcock on the other side that is about a 3/4 inch petcock.
Right.
We have no idea what that's for.
No, I have no idea.
Why it would be in there. But we're thinking that might have been, he didn't have time to carve another plug.
Yeah, that very well could have been.
Okay.
Very well could have been.
This is 1945, you say, huh?
Yes.
Okay. And you believe he may have gotten this either when it was new or relatively close to new.
I believe. I think he was I think Walter would have been the second owner, I believe. I don't know that for sure, but
that's going pretty far back in the family. So future plans?
Obviously I'd like to paint it up, make it look a lot nicer than it does. But as my family continue, I have young kids yet, so as soon as the funds allow, we'll get that taken care of.
As soon as you get that family business, all taken care of, then you get to do things like that, right?
I'm hoping then maybe as the boys get older, I can
they'll get interested.
I can get some sandpaper in their hands and they can help.
Start them off a few minutes at a time. Otherwise, you don't want to burn them out quick.
Yeah, right.
They'll never come back. Every time you say the S word, they will take off a running.
Yeah.
Well, does Corbin like it?
Yes.
Does he like to drive it?
Yes.
Good for him. Well, I tell you what, it's better than crack.
Yeah, right. No kidding, right? No kidding.
All right, keep them boys interested in these tractors, and at least it teaches you the bare essentials, at least, of mechanics, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
This will give you anything you do with the tractors, hands-on training for any kind of future mechanical endeavors. Teach you how to work, teach you about tools, teach you how things operate, and you can figure out from there. A lot of other mechanical situations are related to internal combustion engines.
Very much so. The principles are all the same. The principles are all the same.
Be able to fix anything you got.
You're right.
All right. Well, Jameson, thanks a lot for spending time with us this morning.
Yep, no problem.
And good luck getting the old gal back to going.
All right, thank you.
She sounds great. I heard her running from about 300 feet over there, and I took off and headed toward it.
Right.
I'm like a moth to a flame when somebody starts a tractor.
Right.
It's almost silly. Well, thanks a lot. Well, this has been Ed Holmes for Red Tractor Nation. Now, if you've got a tractor that belonged to somebody way back in your family and you'd like to share it with us, you better get in touch with us. We're on Instagram, Facebook. Watch our videos on YouTube. There are about 40 videos on there for you to enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Red Tractor Nation.